What's up, RotoGrinders? Welcome to NBA Crunch Time. I am your host, TJ Zwarich. We got a TWT weekend. First off, joining me, my guy, the Chief, Will Priester. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I like tonight's slate. Hopefully we come in and help the people make some money. Hopefully I make some money. I am just running one lineup tonight, just doing some single entry, but nonetheless, man, still going to be a great night, hopefully. But I definitely ready to roll.
Couldn't agree more. I'm excited about today's NBA slate. My wife and my baby are away visiting my mother-in-law at the lake, and so I'm just chilling by myself all weekend with the boys. By the boys, I mean my two dogs and my cat. We're going to be watching sports. We're going to be playing a lot of DFS. We're going to be playing a lot of Marvel Rivals on PS5 and having a good time. Joining us as well, Shiver Me Timbo, Tasteful Tides, Tim Buell. How you doing, Tim?
Yeah, I'm doing well, TJ. I've been in the college football streets all day and also the NFL streets, and now we're headed to the NBA streets, and we've got a whole bunch of meaningful news that is yet to drop. That's really going to shape this slate, I would imagine, and we've already had news that's going to shape this slate. So this is going to be a big news night.
Yeah, we already got Giannis out. We're still waiting on Jalen Brunson, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, all questionable, and a few other names as well. Tim, what's your 30,000-foot view of this slate?
Well, I mean, we obviously already lost Giannis, but we actually have Dame tonight. So Dame's going to be, I mean, Dame is pretty much popping everywhere on both sites. I think the most important piece of news that we haven't hit is that we haven't gotten yet is Jalen Brunson. That would send in a lot of New York. That would flood some Knicks into optimals, quite a few Knicks most likely. So I mean, you probably should be saving quite a few spots because we're going all night tonight. You know, starting at 7. I think the last game's at 10 or 10:30. So I mean, it's not one of those shortened slates. So you know, it's gonna be important. And at least that Brunson news though is, I believe that the Brunson news is the first game of the slate. So that's kind of good and kind of bad because we'll have the info. So there isn't like a real pronounced edge in that. But I think you may have some edge with some later games and some Q tags. So I think that's my 30,000-foot view of the slate.
Chief, do you have any lean right now on whether or not Anthony Davis, LeBron James, both listed as questionable play?
No, I have zero lean. I've got a private NBA feed set up that like sends me all sorts of information, and I don't have anything just giving me any type of insight. Like so, and let me hop back in that feed just in case. Give me a second. Let's see.
I think they're both fake Q tags, to be honest. That's my opinion, but
yeah, I've got nothing.
I have nothing based on that though.
AD didn't practice yesterday, Lord King Guru said, but again, that could just be something nagging a little bit, and they want to rest it as long as possible, and as long as there's no pregame injury, they suit him up, that kind of thing. But let's start getting into this slate. We'll go position by position, both on FanDuel and DraftKings. We'll start off on FanDuel, and then we'll pivot to DraftKings. Then we will take some questions. If you got questions, throw them in the RotoGrinders live stream Discord chat. That's where I'll be looking first. Then I will be going to the YouTube chat. YouTube, I want, say, 40 likes before we even start getting QQs there. So YouTube, you got to smash that like button. All you got to do is take your mouse, slide it over, click like. You're watching on your phone, you click hide chat, then take the like button. It's 2 steps. I apologize, but we appreciate it. It's free content on a Saturday. Hit the like button. Let's start getting into this one position by position, starting off on FanDuel. Will, I'll go to you first. Who do you like at the point guard position today?
I actually like a lot of these point guards up top. I feel like Cade Cunningham is going to get left out in the dark today. And I'm not saying Detroit is a spectacular team, but Cade has been spectacular pretty much all season long. He's expensive. He's going to be very low owned tonight, and nobody wants to play him. And I think he's a good play. Now, I'm saying that to say clearly we understand Dame is probably the guy tonight at 8,800. Don't think you need to be finding reasons to fade him outside of you just think his ownership's too high. Other than that, he should be good. And I still like Kyrie at 9,100, but I do really like Cade tonight at 99, all the way up top. I just think, once again, he's a guy that people just aren't going to play because of the situation. You've got Spencer Dinwiddie here at 5K. Only played a few minutes last night. So, but I still think it's worth the price of admission when they're missing a few other guys, even with outside of Luka tonight, because of the fight between Nurkic and a couple of these guys, PJ Washington, Najee Marshall. They're just missing a handful of people that were playing reasonable minutes. So I think Dinwiddie tonight is somebody that should play 25, 30 minutes. I think that could be good against Portland. Should come in with the second unit and be able to feast. Mute count 1.
Damn it. Tim, who do you like at point guard? Who did you suggest for cash games? And do you have any remedies for the pain I have going from the middle of my back right here all the way up through my neck?
Definitely can't help you there. But yeah, I think it's pretty close between Dame and Kyrie in terms of cash games. I would probably lean. Well, I mean, if you could play both, I would play both. But I also really like, Will's call and Spencer Dinwiddie. I think Dinwiddie's got the highest opto rate of any point guard on the FanDuel slate, according to our Sims, showing up as optimal like almost 49% of the time. Going to be very popular also. But still,
are we still waiting on? Yeah, it still has Giannis in the Sims. And so that's why it's looking wonky with Damian Lillard only projecting for a 2% optimal rate. So here, maybe I will switch for FanDuel purposes. I will switch to lineup HQ the rest of the way here.
Yeah, I still don't think that'll affect Dinwiddie all that much. So I still think he's a fantastic play. It's really nice too because you can play Kyrie at shooting guard. So because I think Dinwiddie is only point guard eligible. So, so I mean, I absolutely love Dinwiddie tonight. So Dame, Dinwiddie, Kyrie, I think they're like your premium optimal point guard plays. Now if Brunson plays, I really like Brunson as well. So I mean, we'll get that news, and I think people might be a little bit, turned off by playing Brunson because of this like potential injury, but it's a fantastic matchup, one of the best possible matchups you can get. So I think Brunson at 8,300 is a really, really strong play on both sites. Now, if he were to sit Miles McBride at 4,400, you could play him. He's point guard, shooting guard. He's gonna have to fill that void that Brunson's gonna leave. So I would love to get to one of those two. So Brunson if he plays, and then McBride if Brunson sits.
All right, taking the shooting guard, starting with who you like in cash.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of the same names, really. I think that we can possibly add in a few names here, like Mikal Bridges at 6,400. We saw him go absolutely bananas on Christmas Day. And then, this matchup is just so good. So absolutely have no issue with him. I should have mentioned Jamal Murray. I think he's at least interesting for GPPs. I don't mind. Oh, I just lost my screen here. I don't mind maybe getting to like a Josh Giddey or a Kobe White for tournaments. I don't think that we can. Oh yeah, and then I think Bradley Beal at 7K. I think it's a pretty good spot for him. So I don't mind Bradley Beal at 7,000. And then we haven't even talked about the Jazz yet, but I think Colin Sexton at shooting guard at 6K. I think he would be a decent play as well. Klay Thompson is showing up in a ton of optimals right now. 5,400. He's probably going to be super popular in cash games. I don't know if I want to play him in GPPs, but he is definitely going to be in a lot of cash games today at shooting guard, small forward at 5,400. So he's he's definitely a guy that you're going to get a lot of if you run the optimals tonight.
I'm going. My biggest stance today in tournaments is I'm fading Klay Thompson and I'm fading Chris Middleton. Two guys that I'm just simply not sure have the juice anymore. So if they got large ownership on them, I'm totally comfortable pivoting elsewhere. Chief, who do you like at shooting guard?
I'm fine with Klay. I'm going back to the well on Bradley Beal at 7K. As long as Booker's out, I'm fine playing those guys. So that's, those are things I don't mind doing. I don't mind going back to Jordan Clarkson also. At home, should have a really nice role here. It's been playing 30 plus minutes. So I want to get him in. He's actually got some nice upside if he continues to get these type of minutes. So like him a ton. And then you got Grimes at 4,900 who should have a solid number of minutes tonight also. But those are kind of some of the main guys. I do obviously that'll flip if Brunson is out, then we'll have to get some McBride shares, but at least for right now. And I guess I didn't mention Kyrie because I mentioned him at point guard, but you can get him at shooting guard also on FanDuel, which is another good spot. I guess Zach LaVine hasn't had like consistent upside. He's had games, but in a game with no Giannis at home, we've seen some big games between Chicago and some other teams. I guess I'll throw LaVine in there at 7,500 also.
All right, take me over to small forward. And one thing worth noting, I think, with Anthony Davis as well, seems like a pretty legit Q tag for him as he left the Christmas game after 7 minutes and didn't return. So, shout out to C. York for kind of refreshing my brain with that one.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
I did too. That seems like a lifetime ago already.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I had such a busy
Christmas was just day. 3 days ago.
I know. Feels like forever ago though. Yeah, I forgot all about that. So that might not be a fake Q tag then.
Yeah, because he left the game after 7 minutes and hasn't practiced since.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's definitely something we're gonna have to monitor. But Chief, take me to small forward.
Yeah, I mean, if AD's out, then obviously if you get LeBron here against Sacramento, you'll probably take LeBron. Sacramento just fired Mike Brown. I'm sure everybody knew that, but in case you didn't know, they fired their coach recently. So I'm not saying big changes on the horizon, but maybe they try to come out and fight a little bit for the interim coach. We'll see. You can get Bradley Beal. DeMar DeRozan is 7K, and he's not been great. Like on this team, his upside isn't the same, but at 7K, I think you take a shot here. So I'll just leave it at that. If Draymond sits, I'm fine with some combination of Wiggins or Kuminga. Even though Kuminga was a guy who was very low on last night, and obviously he just spat in my face because I hated him. And tonight he will score those 17 fantasy points. Don't you worry. He won't let us down. That's a joke. But I feel like this is you can get Klay here also. This is just kind of a weak position for me tonight. I feel like I'm being held up by the Anthony Davis news. And that's kind of where I am. Not to overlook Kevin Durant, who is still again without Devin Booker. And I think I'm right back to the well. Same way I feel about Bradley Beal. It's the same way I feel about KD, that we can continue to play him with Booker out.
I like it. All right, Tim, who do you like at small forward?
Yeah, so it's really the Brunson news that's kind of making my life a little bit difficult. We should get that news any minute, though, because I really like Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges here. If Brunson were to sit, like I said before, Thompson's definitely your cash game play on FanDuel at 5,400. I'm probably not going to play him in my single entry team, but I mean, if you want to play him, I'd say by all means. I'm kind of with you, TJ, on Chris Middleton. Not a huge fan of his tonight, but I mean, he can absolutely smash. So I mean, if you land on him in cash games, I certainly would not fault anybody if they wanted to play him. So I'm with Chief. Like, I really like Kevin Durant. I keep playing Kevin Durant. He has not gotten there for me yet, but I want to keep going back to him. So I don't mind Kevin Durant at 9,700. Probably not in cash games, but in any kind of GPP format, I think he's fine. And then if we were to lose AD, I think that Austin Reeves again. We saw him post a triple-double, I think, on Christmas. I think he would be a really, really strong tournament play at 6,900. And then obviously LeBron, too, if AD were to sit.
Chief, how many lineups are you playing tonight?
Just, I'm single entry.
So both of you are single entering. I wish one of you was MMEing like I am, just because I want to know how you guys... Chief, if you were MMEing, how would you play the AD news right now? Like, I'm not going to even press build until after we get the Brunson stuff.
I would play him out.
You're going to play him out?
That's how I would play it. I would play it with him out. But
I'm thinking I might have to play it out just because that's kind of the lean that I have right now. And I'm wondering if the upside of getting, 40% LeBron and 30% Reeves is probably more worth it than getting a low-owned AD coming off of injury.
Yeah, and even if AD plays, Reeves and LeBron could still help you. Like, so tonight's only 7 games. It's not a lot of studs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if LeBron gets you 55, Reeves gets you 38, like, you're probably in contention if you nailed everything else.
Josh Giddey will play. Lonzo Ball will play. So I think Giddey being in kind of limits the moderate, very little interest I had in the Chicago guys. Just because with him out, I thought Levine and White and Vucevic looked okay. Now I don't really think I need to get there to any of those guys. Jalen Smith is the only one of the Bulls that ended up getting ruled out. I sometimes don't, this is a little off topic on the position by position, but I sometimes don't mind taking some shots on Lonzo Ball just because he can put up a ton of stocks even in only like 20 minutes. But I don't think you need it on this slate. Chief, take me to power forward.
Well, I mean, you could get KD at power forward also. So I really like him. Yet again, you got Bobby Portis here at 7,700. He's priced up. It's Chicago. I think the price is worth the risk, in my opinion. So definitely don't hate him. If AD's out, then you'll be getting some Rui Hachimura. Royce O'Neal's had a nice role with Phoenix here, with all these guys being out. So, God, 5,500 for Royce O'Neal feels awful, but he's going to keep getting 30 minutes and keep producing, all the way around the box score. And I think it's worth it. TJD, it seems like they want to give him some minutes. I know KD. I know Draymond sat last night. Draymond is actually still questionable. I think that helps TJD. If Draymond does sit, so at 5,200, I'm okay with him. You've got, Precious Achua here at 4,800. Not as great of a play as some of these other guys, but, getting reasonable minutes. So I'm okay with him as well.
We just got Jordan Poole. So we should be getting this Brunson news at any moment here.
Jordan Poole's in or out?
Out.
Okay.
I can't help but wonder.
God, dude, the Knicks blow this team out.
If Jalen Brunson may be a little bit more likely to sit now. But we'll see. Tim, who do you like at power forward? Who's a cash game player?
Yeah, so definitely Bobby Portis.
Can we go back? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I mean, because at this point, like Malcolm Brogdon is going to be close to must-play territory for me. Like seriously, he's been pretty good over that stretch. I know, but
you think he's going to get enough minutes to really smash?
Even if he gets 30 minutes, like, I mean, he played 29 against Charlotte the other night. There's no, man, listen, Malcolm Brogdon might be close to must-play territory for me. Like, I think he's a much better play than Klay Thompson, if that makes any sense. Like, he's way better than Klay.
Yeah, he'll be one of the many I think I am rotating around as opposed to Klay and Middleton today.
And sorry about that, Tim. I know I cut you off at power forward. I just, with the pool news, I'm going back to make a DraftKings alter, like, right now.
All right, Tim, who do you like power forward?
Yeah, so we're still playing Bobby Portis at 7,700. This is a fantastic matchup. His price keeps going up, but it's not enough. So he's definitely your cash game, one of your cash game power forwards on FanDuel. I would like to play Josh Hart or OG Anunoby. I think you can play Anunoby anyway, even if Brunson plays. He's only 6,600. Should play really good minutes here. And then we could, if you want to play the AD is out angle, then 9,800 for LeBron is a strong cash game play. I agree with Chief on the Royce O'Neal take. I do like him quite a bit, but probably not for cash games. I would save him for GPPs. And then I think TJD 5,200. Yeah, I mean he's got center power forward eligibility. I think you could play him in any format as well. So I think he's a strong play if you need some salary relief at the power forward spot.
All right, take me to center.
Yeah, so center and cash games is really easy tonight on both sides. It's going to be Daniel Gafford. So Lively's already been ruled out. You could go Mason Plumlee, but I think you should just pay the 5,700 for Gafford in cash games. It's very straightforward. Cat is still rating out tremendously, and that's with Brunson in. If Brunson were to sit, then you might have a decision to make if you want to pay up at center or not for cash games, because Cat's going to get so much more usage with no Brunson on the court. But for right now, I'm just saving him for tournaments. I can't imagine many people are going to be playing Jokic at 12-3, but he's going to be extremely low owned tonight in a really, really good spot. So certainly can't fault anybody there. And I think that's where I would end my center exposures on FanDuel.
I'm currently looking at a build idea right now where I have minimum one Milwaukee player, minimum one Phoenix player, minimum one Dallas player, and minimum one Laker in my every single tournament lineup today. Chief, what do you think of that?
I don't hate that at all. I mean, you know the name of the game, man, in DFS. If you can nail the news, nail the benefactors of the news, this is where court IQ comes in handy from time to time. At least you can kind of see some raw data, see some usage, stuff like that. I said all that to say, TJ, yes, I think that could work.
I forgot about it, but we still have Joel Embiid and Andre Drummond questionable as well. That's kind of one that we skirted by a little bit today. So both big men for Philadelphia possibly questionable. If they're both out, that would open Yabusele up as probably the best value play of the slate as well. So something to keep in mind. Center position, Will, who do you like in tournaments?
Gotta be Karl Anthony Towns. And that might not even be sneaky if Brunson sits. Like, I think a lot of people will gravitate to Karl Anthony Towns. So I don't want to, overblow that. I actually think a guy that's sneaky in tournaments is DeAndre Ayton. Like, as much as Portland's had a roulette of players, DeAndre Ayton has had a pretty stable minutes floor when the games have been close. And if you look at his games, when he's getting 30-plus minutes, he's very productive. So at 6,700 on FanDuel, I actually think Ayton's a really good tournament play that no one wants to actually play today.
All right, let's pivot over to DraftKings. We'll still go position by position here. Then we will take some questions, go to the RotoGrinders live stream Discord first, going to the YouTube chat second. YouTube, good job hitting the like button. We're up over 40. We're good for QQs. If we get over 50, we will give our slate breaking plays today as well. So smash that like button if you are watching us on YouTube. And in addition to smashing the like button, you can also check out Splash Sports if you haven't signed up yet. Now's the time. Use promo code ROTO10. And when you play $100 in quick picks, you'll get another $50 right back. Check out splashsports.com/RotoGrinders homepage. Help you make some money. And that's what we want. That's what we're here for, to help you make some money. And the holiday season brings us some huge contests for DFS contests. Huge DFS contests for the NBA and NFL. We want you to have a massive holiday takedown. So we're taking $10 off your first month of Combo Lite. That means access to SimLabs, as well as all of our content from your favorite hosts like us for only $19.99. Help us help you score big this holiday season. And $19.99, come on, that's so cheap. cheaper than any Christmas presents he got this year. Lock it in. Let's make some money. DraftKings today. Player pool might look a little bit different. You're seeing some altered projections and some altered scores here too, because this is my pool and I haven't built yet. So I haven't reset because I'm still waiting on the Brunson news, but bear with me. Or some people, I think, find it wonky. Other people really like the look behind the curtain here. So this is how things look for me right now. I haven't had a lineup set built yet though. Tim, who do you like at point guard, starting with cash game options?
Yeah, so good call by Chief on Brogdon. They just updated the projections, and Brogdon is popping really hard in at least on DK.
What's our new projection for him?
31 fantasy points and 28 minutes. So I mean, he's rating out as the second best point per dollar option right now. So he's firmly in play for cash games. I would probably play him at shooting guard on DK. And because you're probably going to be playing Kyrie or Dame or Spencer Dinwiddie in cash games. And Dame and Dinwiddie are a point guard only. And then you could probably slide down and play Kyrie at shooting guard as well. So that would be a pretty good shell for a cash game team. I wouldn't fault anybody if they wanted to play Brunson in cash, assuming he plays. And then if Brunson doesn't play, I would be trying to get to McBride in cash as well. That would pretty much be the only options for cash games. I think they're all really good tournament plays as well. The only other name that I would mention strictly for GPPs would probably be Cade Cunningham, just because I think he's going to get really forgotten about, like Chief mentioned over on FanDuel. Same thing goes on DK. Cade is going to be, I would assume, pretty forgotten about on the slate. And Jamal Murray seems a little bit cheap as well. So I think he's a decent GPP play at 7,400.
Should be getting this Brunson news any minutes. If he does, I think if he's out, I think Miles McBride becomes probably the best value on the slate going up against Washington. Miss Richard said we're waiting on Sabonis news too, are we not? Sabonis is expected to play. He participated in shoot around and they expect him to give it a go today. So I don't think they have like probable in NBA. I don't think they use that really, but that's where he'd be listed right now if they had it. Chief, who do you like at point guard?
All the same guys Tim mentioned. I don't think I mentioned Maxi Kleber at power forward on FanDuel. Just wanted to say, hey, I think he's good at such a cheap price. Going to probably play at least 25, 30 minutes. So sorry. I know I'm backtracking. It's just so many plays tonight. I can't name them all. Yeah, so point guard, a lot of safe guys. Definitely Brogdon for me though on DraftKings, man, with this news at 5,400. He's a great play. Dame is 9,300 on DraftKings. Still don't care. Definitely think he should play. Kyrie 8,400. I'm going to be reworking my lineup a little bit if Brunson sits. I feel like I'm going to get to Dame and Kyrie. Man, I'm not sure. I just got to see how this thing builds out. But I think I'm going to get to both of them on DraftKings along with Brogdon. So I think I'll use them in a different spot. So yeah, that's that. You know, in terms of these other guys, Jamal Murray mentioned here, 7,400 on DraftKings. I think he's a
Brunson is in.
Yeah, Brunson's in.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's good. I mean, that shores up some news for us. So probably still going to be playing Brogdon, still going to be playing those other guys. I'll definitely be playing Lillard and Kyrie over Brunson in this spot for sure.
All right, take me to shooting guard.
So at shooting guard, I do still like Clay. You can get Brogdon there as well. I mentioned Bradley Beal. I want to make sure I continue to mention him. You know, once again, Booker's still out. You know, I think Bradley Beal has some upside. He will at least have the opportunity. Jordan Clarkson, even cheaper on DraftKings at 5,600. He's a guy that I like quite a bit. Obviously, Quentin Grimes at 5,100 should be getting all the minutes he can handle. He's a guy that I like as well.
All right, Tim, who do you like at shooting guard?
Yeah, so one guy that I don't think that I've mentioned yet is Quentin Grimes at 5,100. He's currently popping in a lot of optimals right now. He's shooting guard, small forward eligible. probably better to play him at small forward than shooting guard, but he's at least got that MPE. Klay Thompson, 5,500, definitely a cash game play. Malcolm Brogdon, another one. If you didn't want to play some of those like mid-range guys, I would go up to Mikal Bridges at 6,100. That just seems a little bit too cheap for this matchup. I'm hoping that he can carry that momentum from Christmas to this game, because this is really going to be an amazing matchup for him. So 6,100 for him. You can play him in any format. And then, Kyrie is obviously your spend up option at the shooting guard position.
All right, take me to small forward.
Yeah, so small forward. Obviously, you got Grimes, you got Thompson, you got Bridges. So all the guys that I already mentioned. Royce O'Neal at 5,200. I kind of wanted Brunson to be out to play Josh Hart, but I think Josh Hart is completely fine for single entry or larger field GPPs. If you need like a really, really cheap punt at small forward, Keyshawn George at 3,700. I think he's viable. I don't know if there's really any like super like high end spend ups that I want at small forward. I think I'm really just going to be living in this kind of mid range area. I don't mind Bradley Beal or Zach LaVine in GPPs, but I think I'm going to stick in the 5 to 6K range.
I keep forgetting to limit the exposure to the Bucks cheapies that I had higher before because there was less value. Now that we have some more value popping up, I don't want 20% Torian Prince or AJ Green or Andre Jackson Jr. That's not what I want at all. And so got to make a couple adjustments there. There we go. Chief, who do you like at small forward?
I'm with Tim. Can they just? I really wish they could just move KD back to small forward. That would fix this whole problem. But clearly, that's not happening. So a lot of the same guys that I like that shooting guard. Now, in addition to that, like I actually still think Josh Hart is okay, Tim. Like for what it's worth. Like I know Brunson's not out, but like I mean, he's still going to play big minutes. I still think OG's fine at 5,800. We can get Royce O'Neal there. He's somebody I mentioned for FanDuel. He's 52. So he's someone like obviously I can still play Bradley Beal. A lot of the same names, but I think like I said, those extra Knicks guys, I do still think they're good plays. I was wondering whether or not I was going to get to Malik Beasley tonight in that mid 5K range also, because he has been good. But I think I'm just going to pass. And then, Ryan Dunn is going to get some minutes. Now, once again, this is very thin, folks. But if you're just kind of trying to jam in some of these 8 and 9K plays, you just kind of got 3K left, then maybe Ryan Dunn fits the build. And you can put him in. And if he gets 20 plus fantasy points, you might be feeling okay at the end of the night.
I'm all spread out here, as you can see at the position. Grimes is my highest own at 20%. Dunn 19, O'Neal 19, Wiggins 18. Wiggins would probably be my favorite is if we get the confirmation of Draymond out. And Paul George, I think, is already interesting. But if Embiid doesn't play, people, I think that's going to slide into the radar. And I think Paul George can end up being one of the best tournament plays on the slate. Taking some shots on Hachimura, Connect, Christie, just in case any of these guys run into some big minutes without Anthony Davis. I'll obviously adjust that if Anthony Davis does play. Power forward position. Chief, who do you like?
Well, we've been talking about KD, so clearly we want to get some KD exposure here. He's really pretty cheap on DraftKings at 9,100, which is why I really like him a ton there. Still think Bobby Portis is great. Nothing against Bobby Portis, but KD here at 9,100, definitely a favorite player of mine. If Draymond happens to sit, I think Wiggins will be okay at 5,600. Love OG here also. Love Josh Hart. Like these are guys that are doubling up. Maybe you go back to the well on Kuminga if you think he has another big game. Like that's perfectly fine. Rui Hachimura is 5,300. If AD were to sit, then he'd be a good play also.
Because I like this power forward position so much, and I want to get to as much of Kevin Durant and LeBron James as possible, just so I can do that. Let me go for 55. I have changed it so every power forward, small forward eligible player, they get played at small forward because I don't like that position. Whereas I really do like the power forward position. I want to play Portis. I want to play Durant. I want to play LeBron, Kleba, Achua, Iguodaro. They're fine as salary savers, but I want to make sure I get as much of these guys as possible. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm changing anybody that has small forward eligibility, only allowing them to be played there. Who do you like power forward, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, definitely like Kevin Durant as a spend up. I would like LeBron more. I would like LeBron more than Durant if AD sits. So those are two pretty good spend ups. Definitely, I don't mind OG Anunoby and Josh Hart, like I've mentioned. I totally would Chief. Like you can still play Josh Hart. Like there's no big deal at all. It was obviously would have been better with Brunson out, but yeah. So I mean, Hart's still a really good play. You got Kaishan George again at 3,700. He's rating out as our best point per dollar power forward. So I mean, he's a good salary saving option. I don't
get him in the pool, hey?
What's that?
I guess I should probably get him in the pool, hey?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we updated ownership or not, but
what's his new projection with pool out?
It's 21.21.
There we go. I didn't want to have to refresh just in case it messed with anything else since I've had so much suggested.
21.21 and 28 minutes. So, but I don't think we have new ownership yet. So I don't know if he's going to be chalky or not, but I do like him as a salary saving option quite a bit. And like, I don't know, these small forward, power forward positions, like they're not amazing. So I wouldn't fault anybody if that was the spot where you wanted to take one salary saving option. So, and he's definitely, I think, pretty awesome in builds like where you want to play Jokic because Jokic isn't going to get owned tonight. Yeah. I don't think that you need Bobby Portis and cash games on DK, but if you wanted to roster him, I certainly would not fault you at all. So I think Portis is okay, but not as necessary as he is on FanDuel. So I think that would really be it for me at power forward.
One of the reasons I'm going so heavy on a guy like Oso Iguodaro here is I just want to make sure I have late night spots in my lineup. I want to make sure I have lots of stuff to adjust. So I'm getting anybody in the 8:30 p.m. games or beyond. I'm trying to get a little bit more of just so I can get access to it. But admittedly, I did think that one, the Golden State Phoenix one, was a little bit later than it was. I thought that was a 9.
That was the same. That's the same dilemma I'm going through right now, is because I obviously love Kaishan George's projection, but I also am going to be playing a couple Knicks, and I don't know how many spots I want to lock up at 7 o'clock. So because if I do that, I basically will have no flexibility. So I think if you're playing GPPs, you really got to think about that if you want to like take up all those spots early on. And so I think this would be a good night to probably not take up those spots so early. So I think you're probably that theory might be correct, TJ, to just wait it out and let that value go by.
Yeah, I am with you there as well. I did think this Phoenix game was a little bit later, but that is still an hour and a half after the first game of the night. So that first game of the night, I still probably want to limit myself here to one Knick and one Washington player, actually, because I want to maintain as much flexibility as I possibly can there. Perfect. Will, who do you like at the center position?
I think Gafford's still the guy. He's very cheap. Should get close to 30 minutes, if not 30 minutes. He's a guy that I definitely like. Perfectly fine with TJD. You can actually play KD at center also on DraftKings if you're feeling froggy in that department. I personally still think Karl Anthony Towns is fine. And then once again, I'm going to mention DeAndre Ayton. I actually think Ayton's fine here. I think he's getting overlooked. We don't want to play him. Game against Dallas. Dallas a little shorthanded. I think Ayton could be a really, really nice play here.
Gafford and Plumlee are the two I'm going to the most. We don't see a ton of minutes from Plumlee in these spot starts, but he's only 3,600, so he doesn't need them. As long as he's cracking 20 minutes, he should be able to absolutely smash that price tag. Love some Brook Lopez for tournaments. People don't like going there. And I think I finally actually have the build that I want ready to post on DraftKings. 30% Ryan Dunn. That's a little scary. I should probably bump that down to 20% Ryan Dunn. And then I think we're good to go, team. This is fun doing it all together. It's a group effort. I feel like all of you are along for the ride with me for my 150 build this week. Let's start taking some QQs. I'll go to the RotoGrinders live stream, Discord chat first, YouTube second. Let's see how many YouTube likes YouTube has. They have done their job. Up over 50. Let's get it up over 75 for no reason other than we're good people. We're good people. So smash that like button. Help us out. Tim, who's breaking the slate today?
I'm going to go, like, if this were going to be like my hot take, I'm going to go with Josh Hart goes for 50 plus DraftKings points.
There you go. Will, it's spicy. I like it. Will and I like the spicy takes. Will, who do you got at breaking the slate today?
I'm trying to go with someone that's unobvious, and that unobvious play is the man that nobody wants to play, but has been one of the most consistent fantasy producers in DFS this season. That is none other than Cade Cunningham.
Love that play. I am trying to get to a lot of Cade as well. How much did I end up with here? Oh, 13%. Dang, I was really hoping to get some more Cade than that. But I agree. I do really like that play. I'm going to go with Austin Reeves is going to do it again. Austin Reeves is going to have a huge day. Anthony Davis is going to sit. He's going to be lower owned than he should be because of it. And so Austin Reeves is going to have another huge day in Anthony Davis's absence. If Davis plays well, I'm going to have a lot of readjusting in my lineups to do today. Let's get some QQs here. DK GPP, Will, what do you think about rostering Yabusele? And if Embiid is in, I could swap down to Max Christie.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Max Christie is not ideal, but he did play 34, I believe, minutes in the last game that Anthony Davis left early. So he has been getting more minutes now than he previously had. Let's see. What do we got next? What are your thoughts on Dennis Schroeder tonight, Tim?
Curry's back, isn't he? So I don't think so. I'm not. I don't want any of that if Curry's back.
A lot of talk on Mikal Bridges today, Will. What do you think about him in tournaments?
I think he's just fine. Just as much as I like Josh Hart or OG. Like, I think any of these New York guys could put up big scores tonight. Just get exposure to them all.
Yeah, I agree. Any of these, and just because they're all playing like bare minimum 36 minutes a night, it's so like the path to success is so nice with all of these players. What do you think about Oso for Phoenix as a salary saver today, Tim?
Well, I think that's exactly what we were talking about, right? Like I prefer George, but I don't want to take up too many early roster spots. So I think Oso is a really, really strong play, and I like the theory behind
it. Chief, what do you think about random prop today? Anthony Simons to have over 2.5 rebounds.
I'll come back to it. We got a little bit of time. I'm looking into it right now. Okay.
Tim, who would be your favorite DK single entry pivot off of Gafford, or do you think Gafford's just chalk you got to eat?
I think you should just play Gafford. I think the bigger decision is, do you want to go double cheap at center or not? But I think you should just play Gafford, at least in one of your center spots.
Yeah, it's hard not to build. Like if you're playing cash, it's hard not to look at it and just go, hey, I can play Plumlee and Gafford. If assuming AD's out, LeBron, Get him in there, get Kyrie in there, and all of a sudden it's half your lineup's filled out. You got some good amount of salary remaining, and it looks pretty nice. But that probably will be the chalk build. Is the mid-range guys with those cheapies today at center.
I'm okay with Simons over 2.5 rebounds.
We got very few questions coming, so because we don't really want to get out early on an NBA slate, just because of the off chance we get this LeBron news, we get this AD news before lock hits. We want to be here with you breaking it all down, and so we don't want to get out early. So Lee, load up all the questions for us here. Drop them in the YouTube chat. Drop them in the RotoGrinders live stream Discord chat. They can be about what's for dinner. They can be about football tomorrow. They can be about basketball tonight. Football tomorrow, we got Tim starting us off at 9:30 Eastern for Grinders Live with Bobby, with Dean, and then Chief and I will take you right up to lock with Crunch Time with GPP Final Takes with Eric and Neil in the middle. So we got lots of great football content coming tomorrow. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Chief, you had some?
Yeah, I was just going to say, this will be my before the year is out. Don't change something you've been on all day. And what that means is that doesn't mean don't adjust the news, but you look at something, you see something you like, it could be a player, and then all of a sudden you get this flood of news that totally changes your build before the night is over. And at the end of the night, that one player that you said, oh yeah, this is my guy today, he goes off anyway, and you look and he's in the winning lineup, and you were on him all day, but you switch up your whole lineup because this guy sat, and this guy sat, and this guy sat. So don't get off of the guy that you've been feeling good about. The easiest way to be contrarian is to think for yourself, and so please, don't get away from something you've noticed all day.
Tim, who are your top 2 plays on FanDuel today?
Yeah, so we just got a Sims update 4 minutes ago, so I was just rerunning everything on Sims, and so top 2 play on FanDuel was the question.
Yeah.
I really like Josh Hart. I would say, and also obviously Daniel Gafford. I mean, he's really, really chalky though. So Josh Hart is a contrarian play, Gafford is a chalky play, and then I probably just stick with Kyrie as well. I really like Kyrie on FanDuel.
Good day to have played the mid-range receivers in NFL today, because we got Cortland Sutton, Ladd McConkey, and T. Higgins combining for 5 touchdowns between the 3 of them so far. Will, what are your thoughts on TJD tonight?
Yeah, I think he's fine.
FanDuel cash, Tim, are you all right with Grimes and Jordan Clarkson?
Not Clarkson. Grimes is completely fine. I would not play Clarkson in cash.
Yahoo cash question for you, Tim. If AD is in, would you play Reeves or Monk?
If AD is in, Reeves or Monk. Wow, that's super close. I guess I would just stick with I'd still go Reeves, but it's super close. They're projected right on top of each other.
Will, who are your top 3 favorite value plays on DraftKings?
Gafford, Brogdon, Maxi Kleber.
Mine would be Gafford, Brogdon, and Plumlee. How about you, Tim?
Gafford, definitely. Yeah, Plumlee, and probably George.
Hart, Mikal Bridges, or Keontae George. I mean, Keontae George is not playing, so you're definitely not.
They mean
Kaishan?
Kaishan. Must mean Kaishan George.
But that doesn't really make sense with the prices. It says or KGK George. So I think this is what I'm guessing. I'm going to try and translate it, but I think the question is, Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges, or Kevin Durant and Keyshawn George?
And that's a cash game or GPP?
Doesn't say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd take Kevin Garnett if I was doing this.
Kevin Garnett in his prime for the Wolves. Woo!
Yeah, definitely. I'd probably go with the two Knicks.
Will, who are your top 3 raw points plays today? Jokic is obviously the clear number 1, but he's priced for it. Who do you got as 2 and 3? According to my adjusted little builds here, I actually have Cunningham in town 2 and 3.
I don't hate that at all. I think with this matchup with Kyrie, I'd probably throw him in there just because this spot against Portland. I think this is a spot he could go for 60. And I'd probably go Dame also. Like, I get it, man. They're obvious, but this should be spots where all these guys can kind of get off.
All right, let me see if there's anything in the RotoGrinders Discord. What do we got here? Who's your must-have point guard for cash and GPP for FanDuel? Is it Kyrie, Tim, or Dame?
Yeah, it's one of the two. I'm gonna lean with Kyrie if I absolutely have to pick one. But really, in cash, you should be playing both of them.
Chief, what do you think for for tournaments today? Dalton Connect, as Blink 180 Rue says, we like shooters against the Kings.
I mean, I think that all depends on the Anthony Davis moves. Like, otherwise, I don't really care about Connect.
I'm gonna just start ignoring. Eric Johnson's questions because he says, "Is DiVincenzo playing today?" The Wolves aren't even playing today, so we're not worried about that. Tyus Jones, okay, in FanDuel cash, Tim.
I don't think so. I don't love it.
Draymond Green.
The guard spot's so loaded. Like I wouldn't goof around in the guard spots on FanDuel or DK.
How do you feel about Jaden Ivey in tournaments? Well,
I don't think you need him.
DK, GPP, Royce O'Neal or Klay Thompson. I like the Royce O'Neal pivot in that spot.
I don't mind that. I don't mind pivoting there.
I think we all agree on that. Like, Clay's probably gonna have pretty good ownership anyway. Like, Royce O'Neal's definitely a fraction of that.
We got the Klay Thompson fade train is what we're all aboard.
Whoa. I'm not fading Klay. I'm just saying I like the pivot. So let me
I'm on the fade Klay train. We got 5 minutes left to lock. Draymond Green announced as a game time decision. This is going to be a fun little slate we got shaping up. We're still waiting on Joel Embiid listed as questionable. LeBron James listed as questionable. Anthony Davis listed as questionable. We think if any of these are most likely to hit, I think we like the. Sorry, I just got absolutely distracted by someone said Marvin Mims bomb, and that's good for my DFS teams. And so it immediately threw me off my train of thought. Did everybody figure out where I was going there?
I didn't. I wasn't listening.
We got 5 minutes left to lock. Smash the like button. Make sure you get your lineups in. Shout out to Marvin Mims for getting my lineups above that min cash line. Oh, yeah, I was saying we got AD questionable, we got LeBron questionable, and we got Joel Embiid questionable. And the most likely we think to sit is probably going to be AD. But I haven't really heard a single thing on Joel Embiid, so I'm not sure if he's playing or not today. That's going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on, because if he's out, Philly actually looks really, really interesting today. And on that note, Beaner1290 wants to know, Will, what are your thoughts on Tyrese Maxey?
Maxey's been good. I think he's got back-to-back 60 fantasy point games, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it.
Dang, it's looking like if I would have gone some T. Higgins over Chase Brown today in this lineup and paid off of Bourne, I'd be looking pretty darn close to optimal. Shucks. Always coulda, woulda, shoulda in DFS, but we're worried about NFL tomorrow, NBA tonight. Not this stuff we've already had locked. Tim, what do you think about Scoot Henderson, fresh off a big game winner?
No, I don't really like that very much.
I missed this one from before. Bill T wants to know, did Westbrook drink from the fountain of youth, and is he going to go for a triple-double tonight?
No.
Kiki Campbell says there was an article about Lillard saying he was extremely sick. That's scaring them off of him today. Will, is that worrying you at all with Dame Lillard?
No, he's playing the Bulls.
Yeah, good point. Very good point. Speaking of the Bulls, Tim, what do you think of Zach LaVine today?
I actually don't mind LaVine at all as like a contrarian kind of run back with all the some of this Milwaukee chalk. I don't mind it.
Get your lineups in. We got 2 minutes left till lock. We got NFL tomorrow, 9:30 Eastern time. Tim, Bobby, and Dean will be taking care of you with Grinders Live. Then we got GPP final takes, all the best sneaky tournament plays from Eric and Neil. And then Will and I are going to take you up already right up until lock. The Grizzlies and the Nets are actively involved, discussing a trade involving John Conchar, Luke Kennard, and for Dorian Finney-Smith. That's got to be the most boring trade I have ever seen in NFL history and NBA history. Whole Flow wants to know, DK tournament, best utility player, $5,800 and under. Tim?
I think I'm pulling it up right now. I think OG Anunoby is probably your best bet. He's right at 5,800. Should play really big minutes in a fantastic matchup. So I would go OG.
OG there looks good. If it's me personally, I think I would probably go Jordan Clarkson just so I can hold off and see if Draymond Green doesn't play. I would probably want to go Kuminga or Wiggins there. But as it stands right now, absolutely OG is definitely the guy there. Will, any final thoughts before we get out of here? Oh, we got one more question. Lillard or Maxey? FanDuel GPP, Will.
Ooh. I think the right answer right now is Lillard. But you still got some time, I think, to make that decision because that game starts at 8. If you get the Embiid news, you can obviously pivot to Max if you want. But I think the correct answer is Lillard.
Will, Tim, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No. I hope Josh Hart crushes it.
Good luck tonight, everyone. Hopefully you do well in your NFL contests, your NBA contests, both tonight and tomorrow. Let's make some money. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit that like button on your way out. On behalf of myself, Will, Tim, the whole RotoGrinders team, everyone here looking for the proper credits for us to click. All of us, we're just thankful for every one of you there. And here we are. We did it. See you later, everybody. Peace.